Hi everybody, my name's Dylan, and you're watching Between You and Me. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for watching yet another video of mine. I really do appreciate it. Me and my girlfriend actually just moved to Colorado and we're getting settled in, so sorry for the delay and not posting as much recently. Also, I wanted to add that this video will be talking about drugs such as LSD and how the government used it to kind of mind control people. We won't be talking about MKUltra specifically, but how it affected a couple of famous people that you might have heard of today, such as Charles Manson and the Unabomber. Now, I won't be talking about so much about MKUltra. I'm going to make another video dedicated just to that. I am going to hint on it and touch on it briefly, just so you guys have an understanding of what I'm talking about. And if you guys are interested in learning more about MKUltra, I will have a video up this week sometime about it. Right now, we're just talking about the two people, Charles Manson and the Unabomber, who have been affected by this process. Now, I'm not glorifying them in any way, shape, or form. I know they did terrible, terrible things. I'm basically just diving into the video to show you why they did what they did, or maybe some of the reasons or effects of MKUltra had on their brains. I also just wanted to apologize for the quality of this camera right now. I'm working on getting a better one. This is just the quickest one I could use right now since it's the one I brought with me from back in Missouri. So bear with me and thank you guys for your patience. Charles Manson was an American criminal, cult leader, and musician who led the Manson family, a cult based in California. This was during the late 1960s. Some of the members committed a series of at least 9 murders at 4 locations in July and August in 1969 by the orders of Charles Manson. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of this story before, as he's a very popular figure in the true crime genre, as well as just famous for all the wrong reasons. I'm not going to go into his past life or like how he ended up where he was. I'm just going to be talking about what might have led him to do the things that he did. In his 2019 book, Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s, author Tom O'Neill asked forensic psychologist Alan Shefflin about the potentially tragic consequences of the CIA's experimental mind control program, MKUltra. Was it possible, O'Neill asked, that the Manson murders were part of the MKUltra experiment gone wrong? Shefflin responded,
"No, an MKUltra experiment gone right."
By 1967, Manson, then 32 years old, had spent half his life in prison for a myriad of crimes, including doing something to a young boy that I can't discuss on YouTube. Following his parole that year from California's Terminal Island Prison, Manson ultimately made his way north to San Francisco. While in the Bay Area, Manson's inglorious life path took a turn for the truly bizarre. Intersecting with 4 different CIA-funded drug research studies, his participation in 2 has since been confirmed. Now, Manson's parole officer was a Berkeley doctoral student named Roger Smith. He was part of a federally funded program researching LSD and drug use among San Francisco's population. His position as a parole officer allowed Smith to provide an element of immunity to his unwitting research subjects. Although he had the power to send Manson back to prison for violating the terms of his parole, Smith never reported the cult leader's numerous infractions. Thus, Manson remained free and
Hooked on drugs.
Another of the clinic's researchers, Louis Jolly West, ran a clandestine study about LSD and drug use among hippies. A CIA psychologist with a background in deprogramming victims of brainwashing, West refitted a diplomated Victorian home near Haight-Ashbury Free Medical Clinic as a fake hippie crash pad, a ploy to study drug addiction and, unfortunately, homelessness. Now, the reason all of this is so important is because West worked for the CIA chemist Sidney Gottlieb. I hope I'm saying that right. He was the head of the MKUltra program. Under Gottlieb's watch, this sordid CIA operation administered LSD to unwitting subjects. They attempted to synthesize the ultimate truth serum. Basically, they were trying to find a serum that would make people confess or just tell the truth, and they just couldn't lie. Obviously, this is very touchy. Some people believe in it, some people don't. I personally don't, but it's up to you. Your opinion's your opinion. Now, the CIA had to use a lot of organizations to help conceal its involvement. A lot of them were just institutions mainly that were involved with doing the tests, as well as running them and reporting their findings back to the CIA, or the CIA was actually there and involved with it. The CIA finally terminated MKUltra in 1973. For his part, Manson ditched San Francisco for Los Angeles in late 1968. By just 1 year later, his madness had worsened a lot. A lot of people blame the CIA's irresponsible LSD research. This is what made this tragedy come to fruition. In researching his book, O'Neill uncovered evidence that Los Angeles area law enforcement investigators mishandled multiple aspects of the Manson case. O'Neill also claims that the Los Angeles Police Department destroyed records from the 1969 homicide investigation. However, the author concedes that the attorney Vincent Bugliosi, I hope I pronounced that right, a prosecutor in the Manson family murder trial, may simply have forgotten to return the documents, which he used to write his 1976 book on the Manson family.
Helter Skelter.
Now, I'm not blaming the LSD or the drugs that the CIA used on Charles Manson for any of the crimes that he committed or his cult. I am going to say, though, that using those drugs over and over and being a victim of that mind control, aka MKUltra, could have a huge effect on his brain and make him have these decisions later. I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened, but there is a really big possibility if that he got the help he needed, none of this would have happened. That's why I'm going to make another video, a part 2, about the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. He also was a victim of the MKUltra experiments. Once again, not condoning any of their actions, but this is just a look into maybe why they did what they did. Stay tuned for the second part, and thank you for watching. This is Dylan, and you're watching
Between You and Me.